Galnet News Update, 10th of September 3307. Exactly 1 year on from the first starport bombing perpetrated by the Neo-Marlinist Liberation Army, the Empire of Akinar is observing a day of mourning for those who died in those attacks and in later acts of violence perpetrated by the terrorists. It was on the morning of 10th September 3306 when reports came in that Mackenzie Relay in Princess Aisling Duval's home system of Semius had been attacked by Thargoids. These initial reports turned out to be mistaken, but the confusion was understandable. The starport had been attacked with a caustic enzyme payload using captured Thargoid weapons technology. Shortly after, two more starports, Sholkovsky Terminal in the Gabjaujis system and Garrido Market in the LHS 4031 system, were attacked in the same way. 4 days later, a senior member of the imperial family and father of Princess Aisling, Prince Harold Duval, was assassinated. The perpetrators soon made themselves known: the Neo-Marlinist Liberation Army, an offshoot of the fringe Imperial Marlinist movement which had been working quietly and ineffectually to restore the Republic of Akinar that declared its independence from the Federation 1,000 years ago, had decided that the only way to restore the Republic was through violence. Its stated aim of a representative system of government with elected senators and with the imperial family deposed was heretical to the establishment, although the Imperial Internal Security Service voiced its suspicions early on that someone senior in the imperial hierarchy may have been backing the terrorists. It wasn't long before the Imperial Navy started blockading the Aquada, Beatis Chana and Nahuatl systems, the systems with the largest numbers of Marlinist sympathisers. These lockdowns increased civil unrest. After a number of arguably insensitive military interventions by the Imperial Navy, where Marlinists in general, rather than the NMLA terrorists, were targeted, a wave of Marlinist refugees arrived in the federal border states. Marlinism had left the Empire. The intervention of the Sirius Corporation averted a humanitarian disaster, and the Marlinist refugees were given colony systems to inhabit, the same systems they remain in now. It was in November that the NMLA first struck a target outside the Empire. Kepler Orbital in Atropos was attacked. To kill 9 of their own NMLA members held there that the Federation had identified among the refugees and that were due to be deported to the Empire for interrogation. But they struck again in a far bigger way in March 3307, when they attacked 3 Imperial, 3 Federal, 2 Alliance and 1 independent starport as revenge against their own killing of what they called the 9 Martyrs of Kepler Orbital. The 9 Martyr bombings were carried out by an NMLA member known as Theta 7, who had escaped from an alleged Imperial detention and interrogation facility 6 weeks earlier. In the wake of these 9 bombings, the Affiliated Counter-Terrorism Unit, ACT, was created to track down and eliminate the NMLA. After the arrest of the Landgrave of Madrid and the defeat of those in the Marlinist colonies purporting to be their political wing, the NMLA seems to have lost much of its power. In today's commemoration, Princess Aisling remembered her murdered father and all those who died in the bombings. The Federal, Alliance and Marlinist governments sent messages of condolence and vowed to continue to support ACT in its mission to eliminate the NMLA, as did Prince Hadrian Duval, the once estranged, illegitimate son of Emperor Hengist Duval, who was at one time suspected of masterminding the NMLA's operations. There are those in imperial circles who dare to hope that the bombings and assassinations may be over. However, with Theta 7 still free, the threat from what remains of the NMLA remains very real.